Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Tim Spector of the ZOE COVID Study, and I wanted to share a little message with you because I know that you'll be enjoying the festive season a little bit differently again this year. And I wanted to give you some tips to help you out. Now, a few weeks ago, we were optimistically thinking, actually, this could be a near normal Christmas time. But now with Omicron surging around the country and causing havoc, our plans have once again changed. And this may be because you're doing the good thing and trying to protect vulnerable relatives. It could be because you're at home isolating and unwell, or various other reasons. But here are some tips to help you on whatever your plans are to have a joyful, safe and a healthy festive season. Number one is to know the symptoms. And although the official UK list only recognises the classical 3 symptoms of fever, cough and loss of smell, we've been saying to the government for 626 days now that COVID can cause a much wider variety of symptoms than we are told officially. And currently, the big ones to watch out for are runny nose, sneezing, headache, fatigue and sore throat. Now, this is the case regardless of whether you have Delta or Omicron, but increasingly they're the symptoms we're seeing which have slowly changed over time. And some people never experience these classic symptoms, and over 50% of people will just have these cold-like symptoms at the moment who test positive. And some of the other classic symptoms also take several days to come on, by which time you've probably infected other people. So knowing the real symptoms of COVID can help you identify when you might be infected and stop you spreading it. Really important. So my second tip, if you're feeling ill, stay home until you're COVID clear. So we're still gathering data on people who've been infected with the Omicron variant, but all the data you've given us so far suggests that about 1 in 4 colds are currently testing positive for COVID, and you're better off taking the risk if you've got a sniffle or a sore throat. And if you are feeling under the weather, do stay at home and get tested to make sure you aren't inadvertently spreading the virus as well as your Christmas cheer. My third tip is get boosted now. Family gatherings will undoubtedly increase the risk, particularly for older, more vulnerable people, so it may be very difficult to avoid getting infected. But we do know that vaccination is absolutely the best way to protect yourself against COVID-19, and all the early research is indicating that these boosters are giving you even better protection than just 2, topping up any waning antibodies. And so do make sure you get that 3rd jab when eligible, because although we are seeing breakthrough infections of people with double or triple jabs, really it means a much milder disease, really seeing hardly any cases going to hospital or having problems. So I think this is really important to avoid any severe consequences, is to get that booster. Tip 4 is to socialise responsibly. Now, we all want to relax, unwind and celebrate after a couple of really tough years and really another particularly tough period of the year. But situations where people are crowded together indoors for extended periods, we know from all the data you've been giving us about Omicron that that's what Omicron absolutely loves, and it will increase the risk of spreading it. So as well as being fully vaccinated with boosters, there are other ways to stop the spread. And that's, first of all, ventilating rooms. People are gathering. You may want to wear a mask if you think it's appropriate. Washing your hands. And importantly, I think before having any of these gatherings, get a lateral flow and ensure that you, your friends and family are all doing the same. So at the same time, everyone's agreeing, get a lateral flow test before you get together. And also make sure that everyone knows that no one's developed recently a cold or cold-like symptoms before you meet up. Otherwise, you'd have to treat them as high risk. And if everyone does the same, then you're all in a good position. Now, obviously, there isn't really clear government guidelines on what constitutes a Christmas party. So it's pretty much up to us to decide what we're comfortable with. And realise that Christmas is a time for giving, but COVID isn't really a gift you want to give your friends and family at this time. So take care, but I think it's all up to us to do the right thing, and if we do that, we can still socialise and have fun. So my fifth tip is look after yourself, and in particular look after your immune system, because that is your first line of defence against developing severe COVID. And there are things to do in your lifestyle that can keep your immune system fully functional in order to fight off viruses. And the ways to strengthen the immune system and your defences are relatively easy to do. They're firstly, you can make sure you get enough sleep. Secondly, that you're eating well and you're eating for your gut health and your gut microbes. And so that's plenty of variety, plenty of fermented foods and plants. You're staying active, exercising, that's also important. And we tend to do not very much of that over the Christmas season. Do make sure you enjoy yourself as well, because your mental state also has an effect on your immune system. So realise that the more you can laugh and have fun, that is also really important. And Dr. Susan Hopkins from UK HSA estimated that over Christmas there could be up to 1 million people self-isolating over the Christmas period, which could be a pretty depressing thought. So if you are alone and you're trying to protect others, you're doing the right thing. Just try and keep your spirits up by trying online quizzes or games online with friends and family, so you stay involved and interacting, and maybe we'll just enjoy the fact that you can control the remote control for once of TV without interference. And if you are feeling lonely, do reach out to an old friend or relative or even a neighbour to try and entertain you. And vice versa, if you know someone in that situation, do try and help them out. And I think the other thing to remember is that, yes, it's nice to have this particular day, but it's just one of 365 days a year, and there'll be plenty of opportunities in the new year to celebrate, probably at bargain prices in the new year. My final tip is to use the ZOE COVID Study App. And however you're celebrating, do continue to log your symptoms with us over the festive season. Add your vaccines, your boosters, your COVID test results, any weird symptoms that you think are going to be useful to us. And your reports are absolutely essential for tracking what's going on across the country, because it's taking a long time for those official PCR tests to come back, and your data really is absolutely essential. And this is a crucial tool for the government in its planning and hopefully helping the NHS keeping us healthy this winter. So in conclusion, do make sure you try and enjoy yourself, try to relax, try to not worry too much about Omicron and all these other variants. I don't think it's going to be as bad as a lot of people are predicting, particularly if you're fully protected with vaccines, etc. Our team will be taking a short break over Christmas and the bank holidays, but do look on the app for the latest updates on Omicron, and we're trying to keep a blog up to date on our website as well. My fantastic colleague Claire Steeves will be taking over my weekly updates for a couple of weeks, but I'll be keeping an eye on things and try and send you another message before the end of the year. As always, please like and subscribe to our channel, share the app, look for updates, and really importantly, stay safe and keep logging, and have a wonderful Christmas. however you're celebrating it.